Becoming yourself is the beginning of every mission. But most of you have never really begun. You wake up. Before your feet touch the floor, your thumb is already scrolling. You see war, recession, layoffs, and new AI tools that promise to replace you. You see strangers dancing, laughing, winning in 15 seconds or less. Your first thought of the day is not, "Who do I want to become?" It is, "What happened overnight? And why am I still behind?" Listen to me. I am Nietzsche. I did not come to comfort you. I came to wake you up. From childhood, they gave you a polite lie. They said, life begins when someone finally chooses you. Life begins when a company hires you and does not fire you in the next layoff. Life begins when a partner loves you and does not swipe past you for a better option. Life begins when society approves of you, likes your posts, does not attack you, and does not cancel you. So you wait. You wait for a sign. You wait for permission. You wait for the world's green light. You wait to feel ready while your days vanish into notifications. You say to yourself, once I know who I am, then I will start. No, that is backwards. You do not discover yourself and then begin. You begin. By beginning, you become yourself. Becoming yourself is the beginning of every mission. Sounds beautiful. In truth, it is brutal. If you refuse to become someone, no mission in your life will ever truly be yours. Look at your life with cold eyes. Look at your major, your job, your city, and your ideas about success and love. How much of this is truly yours? You ordered your life from a menu written by parents, culture, media, and algorithms. You did not write it. You just clicked accept all. When you were a child, they began to tame you. They said, be normal. They said, don't make trouble. They said, do what everyone else does. They said, be safe in this economy. Every time you obeyed against your own instinct, you erased one line of your own script and replaced it with theirs. Now you are an adult, and you say, I don't know who I am. Of course you don't. You fired your real self long ago and hired a committee. You hired parents, teachers, bosses, trends, influencers, and finally, the algorithm. They speak in your head and decide for you. You call this confusion being lost. You are not lost. You are outsourced. To become yourself is to terminate the contract. Let me show you with someone from your world. A young man works in a large tech company. On paper, he is successful. He writes code that keeps the app more addictive. He has a decent salary, a badge, a laptop, free coffee, and endless Slack messages. Online, he posts a carefully curated life. He shares quotes about mental health and memes about quiet quitting. But every Monday, his soul feels heavier. He tells himself, this is normal. Everyone is burned out. This is adulthood. He waits for a special project. He waits for a promotion. He waits for a manager who finally sees him. He hopes someone will hand him work that actually matters. He hopes for a life that actually feels real. One evening, after another day of meetings about nothing, he looks into the bathroom mirror. A brutal thought hits him. He thinks, I don't even like the person I see, and I built this. That moment is dangerous. That moment is holy. Most people run away. They grab their phones. They drown in doom scrolling and short videos. They try to forget the crack that just opened in their reality. They call this relaxing. But imagine he does not run. He stays in front of the mirror. He looks at the face he has been renting out to society and asks, if this is not who I want to be, then who do I dare to become? That is the real beginning. It is not the day he quits. It is not the day he moves to another city. The beginning is the moment he stops pretending his life just happened to him. The beginning is when he admits, with frightening clarity, I have been an accomplice in my own betrayal. Becoming yourself always begins at a crime scene. You are standing over the corpse of the life you never questioned. At that point, there are only two paths. The first path is to lie to yourself again. You say, it's not that bad. Other people have it worse. At least I'm safe. The economy is terrible. I should be grateful. Things will change someday. This is how most people slowly disappear from their own lives. The second path is to confess. You say, I did this. I chose this. I allowed this. If I allowed it, I can refuse it. That second path is what I call honesty. Honesty is more revolutionary than any protest in the street. The greatest tyranny in your life is not the government. It is not the market. It is not your family. It is your own cowardice dressed up as politeness, responsibility, and being realistic. You ask the universe for a mission. You want meaning and destiny. You want a calling. No true mission will reveal itself to someone who has never decided who they are willing to become. The universe does not hand sharp swords to people who refuse to grow a spine. Now picture another life. A woman lives in a crowded city. She has a good job, a small apartment, and a crowded commute. Her parents introduce her proudly and say, she is very stable. But at night, she lies awake. She watches news of layoffs, wars, climate disasters, and other people's weddings. Her chest feels like a locked box. One day, on a train full of tired faces, a question hits her. She thinks, if I repeat this week 50 times, will I respect who I become? The answer is no. That no is the door. Walking through it is up to her. So where do you begin? You do not begin with a grand plan. You begin with a new identity. Identity is not a label. Identity is a pattern of repeated decisions. You are not just this kind of person. You are what you rehearse. I'm lazy really means I rehearse avoidance. I'm not confident means I rehearse self-doubt. I have no discipline means I rehearse surrender. choose one new sentence instead. Say, I keep my word to myself. Say, I walk toward difficulty, not away. Say, I create more than I consume. This becomes your anchor sentence. You do not chant it for good vibes. You use it as a standard. You ask, does this action belong to that person or not? Then look at your time. Show me your calendar, and I will show you who you are becoming. You say you want to write, but you never schedule 1 hour alone with a page. You say you want to get strong, but your body appears nowhere in your weekly plan. You say you want to think deeply, but every quiet moment goes into another glowing screen. You do not lack time. You lack priority. You lack courage. So you carve one block each day that belongs to your becoming. You carve 30 minutes. You carve 1 hour. You carve whatever you can. You use this time only to grow your strength, to practice your craft, and to build something that did not exist before. You protect this time like a meeting with someone important. It is a meeting with your future self. Next, you change what you tolerate in relationships. You cannot become yourself while playing a role for everyone else. Maybe you are the good child who never disagrees. Maybe you are the reliable one who never says no. Maybe you are the quiet one who never takes space. Roles that keep you small eventually turn into quiet hatred. So you start small. You practice one clean no each day. You say, "No, I can't this week." You say, "No, I'm not available for that." You say, "No, I'm focusing on something else." You are not cruel. You are not dramatic. You are simply clear. Every honest no is a yes to the person you are becoming. You also practice one brave yes. You say yes to speaking when you usually stay silent. You say yes to sharing work that is not perfect. You say yes to starting before you feel ready. Fear will come. You think fear is a signal to stop. Often fear is proof you are finally walking in your own direction. Ask your fear, what are you protecting? Most of the time, it is not your life. It is your image. Do not let the fear of looking stupid outweigh the fear of never being yourself. Family will resist. They say, "You've changed," and they mean, "You are no longer easy to control." They say, "You're selfish," and they mean, "You stopped erasing yourself for our comfort." Do not hate them. They are defending their own cages. But do not return to yours just because they rattle the bars. Then there is a quiet enemy called too late. You say, "I'm already 30, already 40, already 50, as if you were expired milk. Too late is a convenient excuse to retire from your own life while still sounding intelligent. It is not too late. It is only later than you wanted. Later than you wanted is still infinitely better than never. At some point, you will feel a second adolescence. It is not driven by hormones. It is driven by a clear question. You ask, now that I know life is short, who do I choose to become? Do not sedate that question. Follow it. You ask, "What is my mission?" Your mission is not hiding in a personality quiz. Your mission is not hiding in a clever slogan. Your mission lives where three lines cross. It lives where your wound, your strength, and your devotion meet. Your wound is what has hurt you deeply. It is the pain you can no longer ignore when you see it in others. Your strength is what you can actually do well when you are serious and disciplined. Your devotion is what you are willing to suffer for without becoming bitter. Do not panic if you cannot see it clearly yet. Walk toward that intersection every day. The mission that fits you will stop being a mystery. It will start feeling like a responsibility you gladly accept. Understand one more thing. Comfort will not save you. If you avoid all discomfort, you do not escape suffering. You simply trade the sharp pain of growth for the dull ache of a life that never begins. Choose your pain. Choose the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Both hurt. Only one builds you. So what does tomorrow actually look like? The alarm rings. You get up. You do not grab your phone. You give your first minutes to yourself. You say, "Today, I choose who I am becoming." You write 3 quick lines. You write, "Who do I choose to be today?" You write, "What is one hard thing I will do for that self?" You write, "What is one thing I will refuse that keeps me small?" You block a small piece of time for your mission and you protect it. You say one honest no and one brave yes. At night, you take 5 minutes. You ask yourself 3 questions. You ask, where did I repeat my old self? You ask, where did I become more myself? You ask, what will I do differently tomorrow? You are not judging your worth. You are adjusting your direction. Day after day, nothing outside may explode. Inside, something profound is happening. For the first time in a long time, you are on your own side. And now we must speak about death. One day, your heart will stop. You will not take your titles, your followers, your bank account, or your polished image with you. But one question will remain in that last inner moment. You will ask, did I live as myself or as a copy? You cannot lie there. You cannot blame your parents, your culture, or the algorithm. Death has heard every excuse. There is only one answer that makes death fall silent. You must be able to say, I became who I could. I did not waste myself. Not I was perfect. Not I never failed. Just this. I became. So now, while you are alive and can still move, you decide. Will you continue as the person the world shaped for its own convenience? Or will you begin the long, difficult, beautiful work of becoming yourself? When this ends, do not simply nod and scroll away. Sit for 2 minutes and ask, if I truly began to become myself, what is the first small thing I would change? Take the first honest answer that makes your stomach tighten. Write it down. Today, take one step toward it. Becoming yourself is the beginning of every mission. Everything else, including career, love, impact, and legacy, flows from there. Do not wait for permission. Stand up in your own life as if answering a roll call. Say, here, present, awake. Then begin. You are not made. You forge yourself. And your mission is waiting for you to become.